I'm gonna make you a promise. If you stay till the end of this story, you'll walk away with the power to control anyone just like Light Yagami. Not through fear, not through force, but through the kind of psychology that makes people want to obey you. You'll see exactly how Light used human nature like a chessboard, where every move, every word, and every silence had a purpose. So, stay with me, because this isn't a story. It's a mind game you'll never forget. Light Yagami wasn't powerful because of a notebook. He was powerful because he understood people. He studied patterns, emotions, and timing. He didn't just react to the world, he designed it. Most people are too busy talking to realize they're revealing everything. But Light listened not to respond, but to predict. He studied tone, pauses, and micro-expressions. Every blink, every hesitation, every shift of the eyes, all data. See, that's the first key to control: awareness. You can't control what you don't understand. When you see the world in patterns, people become predictable, and predictable people are controllable. Here's where psychology kicks in: the illusion of choice. It's one of the oldest and most effective persuasion techniques. When you offer people two options that both lead to your desired outcome, they believe they have freedom. But freedom, in that moment, is the perfect illusion. Light mastered that. Instead of asking, "Will you do this for me?" he framed it as, "Would you rather start now or in an hour?" Both roads led to victory, and the other person felt in control, while Light was the one writing the script. Remember that. The best control doesn't feel like control. It feels like free will. Light also knew how to weaponize calm. Neuroscience calls it the mirroring effect. Our brains contain mirror neurons that automatically copy the emotional energy of whoever we're talking to. When you stay calm in chaos, others subconsciously try to match your rhythm. That's why Light always looked unbothered. He let others panic while he slowed down time itself. Want to control a room? Lower your voice. Speak slower. Let silence do the heavy lifting. The human brain hates silence. It fills it with words, confessions, and mistakes. Every time someone talks just to fill that gap, you gain leverage. Control begins where others lose patience. But the real art of manipulation, the one Light used effortlessly, comes from what psychologists call cognitive resonance, or what I call the know me effect. When you describe someone's internal feelings better than they can, their brain instantly trusts you. Imagine you're talking to someone anxious. Don't say, "Calm down." Say, "You feel like if this goes wrong, it's all on you, right?" But deep down you know you've survived worse. That moment hits like lightning. Their brain whispers, "He gets me." And once they think you understand them, they stop questioning you. You don't just have their attention, you have their belief. Light also used something subtle: emotional anchoring. Every manipulator worth their salt knows this. Humans remember emotion, not logic. Light would destabilize a person emotionally, then give them relief, and their brain would link him to safety. That's called an emotional anchor. You create emotional turbulence, then offer calm, and the person subconsciously associates you with stability. Next time you speak to someone, don't always agree. Challenge them, make them feel a little uncertain, and then reassure them. That emotional roller coaster creates attachment, control through comfort. Now here's something 99% of people never think about: authority projection. Light believed he was a god, and that belief wasn't arrogance, it was psychological dominance. Humans don't follow logic, they follow conviction. Studies show that people perceive confidence as truth. If you believe what you say with absolute certainty, others' brains mirror that certainty. That's why Light could stare into someone's soul and make them question their own reality. He projected absolute certainty, and people surrendered to it. Control starts with conviction. Others only believe you when you already believe yourself. There's another layer: predictive empathy. Light didn't just understand people's current emotions, he predicted their next ones. He knew when fear would turn into anger, and when anger would turn into guilt. By anticipating emotional cycles, he stayed 3 steps ahead. You can do this too. Notice patterns in people. When someone gets defensive, what emotion follows next? Sadness? Regret? If you can predict that, you can guide them through it, like a puppeteer pulling invisible strings. But here's the paradox of control. It's not about dominance. True control is invisible. The moment someone realizes they're being controlled, you've already lost. Light never forced, he directed. He made others feel like it was their choice. Every word, every gesture, every silence was precision. He played human nature like an instrument. He didn't fight for power. He designed the environment where power came to him naturally. Now listen closely, because this is the final layer. The God complex. Not the arrogance of thinking you're better, but the certainty of knowing you're untouchable. When Light said, "I am justice," what he really meant was, "I've already won, you just haven't realized it yet." That energy, that unshakable conviction, rewires how people respond to you. If you move like you've already won, people unconsciously adjust to your reality. That's the psychology of dominance. Quiet confidence, not loud aggression. So if you want to control like Light Yagami, here's the real formula. Observe patterns, architect illusions, weaponize calm, mirror emotions, project certainty, and predict reactions. Understand the human mind so deeply that control doesn't look like manipulation. It looks like magic. Because the highest form of control is when no one realizes you're doing it. And if you've made it this far, congratulations. You now know the psychology that 99% of people never learn in a lifetime. Light Yagami wasn't special because he had a notebook. He was special because he understood the code that runs every human being. Learn that code, and the world becomes your chessboard.